Today I'm going to be doing a favourites kind of video. I tend to just stick to mental health and like politicsy stuff on my channel, but I think it's nice sometimes to break that up with a chilled out video, and it's always nice to talk about things that you have enjoyed, things that have brought you happiness, positivity into your life, and things that, just happy things. I think that's a really good thing to talk about, and even if you don't make YouTube videos, I think it's quite nice to sometimes write down all the things that you've been enjoying, that have like brought you happiness, that have improved your mental health, all that kind of stuff. I think it's really important to focus on some positive things, especially things that aren't to do with other people, that are just your things that you've been loving, like books that have brought you happiness, or makeup and stuff like that. That's equally, if that makes you happy, then that's fantastic. So I thought I'd just chat you through a couple of things I've been loving over the past month or so. This isn't like a monthly favourites video because I don't think I want to make one every single month. So yeah, I thought I'd just talk you through some things that I have been liking. First thing, I do have a beauty product, and it's this sleek eyebrow palette, but although I do use that on my eyebrows, which look really shit today, I also use it to draw freckles on because I think that freckles look really sweet, but I have some natural freckles, but I cover it with foundation, and I just really like the look of freckles. I think they look cool, and so I dot these on. I use the gel and I dot on freckles, and then I just rub them in a little bit with my fingers so that they look more natural, and I think they just look amazing. I've been using the medium colour and it just looks cool. It's quite a strange thing to do, you might say, but I like it. I've also really been liking the deodorant powder from Lush. This is called the Governor, and I don't know, like, this sounds weird, but I feel like whenever I use spray-on deodorant, I feel the chemicals going into my body and it makes me feel really weird. I don't know if that's accurate, I don't know if that is even a thing, but I just feel like when it goes into my skin, I feel really like it's really cold, and then I feel the chemicals like moving in my body, and it's probably just in my head, but I really feel it and it feels really gross. So this is absolutely amazing. You just pour a little bit onto your hand and then just like put it under your arms, and because it's like a dry powder, it like soaks up the sweat. That's disgusting, but that's what it does. And also, because you only need a tiny little bit just to go under your arms every day, you really don't use very much at all because it's just a little tiny bit of powder from this big bottle, so I think it'll last so long. And it's just fresh and it's all natural, and it actually works, because you know some products that are like all natural stuff, they don't always work as well as like spray on stuff, but this really does work, and it's vegan as well for anybody that's vegan. My favourite book that I've read recently, I've got two. The first one is Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. I don't know how you say that name. When I saw this, it was just like loads of like, I don't know, people that were reading it that I was like, do you actually like that, or are you just liking it because it's cool? Honestly, that's what I thought. But I actually read this book and I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads because I thought it was absolutely amazing. I think it's one of those books that you can't, it's a book of poetry, but you shouldn't really read it as poetry, if that makes sense. You should read it as a book, as a novel, because you get the full, each poem relates to the next poem and the previous poem, so you need to kind of read it as a book rather than poems, separate poems. But I thought this was absolutely fantastic. I really loved it. She's a fantastic writer, and the illustrations are absolutely beautiful as well, so definitely pick this up. It's a really quick read. You'll read it in like a day. Next up, I have been keeping a bullet journal, and I have, like, since I was like 10, tried to keep a diary, a bullet journal, just a normal journal, all that kind of stuff, and I've never really found a way that works for me because I don't know, it's just quite a lot of pressure to write every day, and I don't always like writing about my feelings or anything like that, or even writing things that I did that day or anything, but I just like having this because I keep everything in it. Sometimes I like to write down how I'm feeling, sometimes I like to write down what I've done that day, but most of the time it's just like pretty things that I've found that I like, lists of things that I need to do, YouTube videos that I want to film, all that kind of stuff. But mostly I really like cutting out things from magazines and just sticking them in, and also just like things like, I don't know, just everything. I just like keeping everything in one place, and it really helps actually with my anxiety. I can write down everything that I've got planned for that week, everything that I've got planned for the month or whatever, and then I can highlight the things that are actually important, so I know I'm not as busy as I think I am. I've still got time to relax and have self-care and all that kind of stuff, so it's really helped me. Next, for my mental health, I really like doing craft art things. I just think it's one of the only things that can actually really properly help with mental health. Being completely distracted into one creative task just really helps me. And I bought these pens, right, that were ridiculously expensive. I probably shouldn't have spent that amount of money on it. I probably can't afford that. But they are beautiful and there is so many colours. They are the Spectrum Noir pens and they come double-sided, a thin and a thick end. And there's just so many colours and I just love using them for drawing, colouring in. I've actually gotten really into kind of drawing different things I've not drawn before, and I might actually try and make some little prints of them if I get round to doing that. They've just been glorious. I have a YouTuber favourite that I've been absolutely loving for the past like 4 months or something, and that's Melanie Murphy. She is glorious. She is so beautiful. Everything she talks about on her channel I'm just really interested in. She doesn't just talk about makeup and beauty, although she does talk about that sometimes, a little bit of that. She talks about like female masturbation, she talks about female porn, she talks about eating disorders, she talks about feminism, like positive female friendships, all that kind of stuff. She is just a glorious woman and I have been absolutely loving watching her videos. Every single time she uploads a video I will guarantee watch it. She's also inspired me to talk about things on my YouTube channel that I wasn't too sure about talking about, that I might not have talked about yet but I'm planning on. She's just really inspiring and absolutely just a fantastic human being. So if you are looking for a new YouTuber to watch that you've not watched, she's got like 500,000 subscribers, so I'm sure you will have seen her, but if not, you need to go and watch her channel. I think you'd really enjoy it. I have also 2 series that I've been really loving. I never actually watch series, I just watch YouTube videos or just like regular TV, or I read books or that kind of thing. I never get into, like, I feel like it's a lot of dedication to get into a series, but I've been really, that's all I've been watching recently, it's just series. And the first one that I really enjoyed was The Replacement. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. I don't want to explain it because I'm really bad at explaining TV shows, but I mean the name's in the title, it's about this woman who tries to replace this other woman and all that kind of stuff. But I really liked it because it was set in Glasgow and I'm from Scotland, and so I was like, hey, there's my neighbour city. And the other series that I've been loving watching is Clique, and that is set in Edinburgh and it's absolutely great. I think it's on BBC Three, so I think you can only get it online, but it is so good. It's like one of those things that you never know what's going to happen. It's like you're guessing the whole time but you don't actually know what's going to happen. And it's also really cool to watch something that's set in your city. You're like, oh, I know that place, and you just feel famous and it's just fantastic. I was really bad at explaining those 2, but just give them a watch and I'm sure you'll like them. My last favourite is I got a tattoo. I'm going to do a whole video on this explaining like what it's like having anxiety and getting a tattoo at the same time, because the 2 don't really go hand in hand. When you've got anxiety, usually you don't go and get a tattoo, but I decided to and I absolutely love it. It's a little giraffe, and I'll explain in the other video what the meaning behind the giraffe is and my experience of getting the tattoo, but I just absolutely love this little guy. I called him Leonard because I just think that suits him, and he's just a great all-round good guy and I'm sure you'll like him very much. That is all the things that I've been loving recently. I'm a bit rusty with these kind of videos because I'm used to talking about things that aren't things. I'm used to talking about feelings and all that kind of shit. I'm not really used to talking about things that I've been loving and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted to make the video and I thought you guys might like it, so that's why I made it. But thanks very much for watching this video and I'll see you soon. Bye!